Hey there and welcome. We're coming straight into today's live. Haven't got an intro queued up. It's all right, I just suddenly saw a pop-up on here. I'm Adrian Salisbury and I wanted to just have a chat. I thought this would be a really good topic for us to have a look at and just have a very practical lesson. If you could see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cameras set up here. We're going to show you 6 different options of how to play with your cameras, to upgrade your cameras from really just what is very basic, the camera that is built into your laptop typically, and then we're going to go through a webcam, we're going to use a phone, and we've got 2 different cameras to have a look at options and alternatives there as well. Now, in order to do this, it meant that I've had to grab my wife Rachel's MacBook Air. So she's got an M1 MacBook Air that I needed it because I wanted to try this built-in webcam, but it's meant that I've had to load everything up and nothing's where I wanted it. And bless her, she's in the house on the live here as well, I think, on my old laptop, having to log in on that one. So I'm getting all kinds of little pop-up messages and things on here. And to be honest, that's why we haven't got our intro, because at the last minute I'm trying to find it and the stupid thing wasn't there. But never mind, we're going to get through and we're going to have a fun, very practical live. If you watch this back in the replay, because we haven't massively announced it, do please still comment away. I'd love to know your thoughts on this and give us some feedback all the same. Reach out to me if we can help at all. Macs have better built-in cams than PCs. Interesting, Victor. I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually. This is... No, that's cool. We will bring some of these in over here. See, I haven't even got my branding or anything on this. We've spent so much time setting up all these cameras that, yeah. All right, we're going to go with it as it is. Can you believe we've still spent 2 hours getting ready, sorting all this out? It's not like I just came into this at the last minute, but hey-ho, it's all good stuff. So Victor, you're on from YouTube. We're going out to Facebook as well and to the Ecamm YouTube channel. So hopefully we're going to get a few of you coming on and joining in with us today. I think, you know, this is one of the first things that if you're live streaming, hey Andrew, if that's not automatically going off, Victor, I need to change my settings in here. Funny, isn't it? Automatically hide comments, right. Assume that would have been on. Andrew's still using... Oh, Andrew, I'm going to convert you, mate, because honestly, I love my Mac Mini, and so this MacBook Air technically shouldn't be able to run this live, and we've got a lot of cameras and things plugged in, so if we die partway through, we'll know that's why. Paul says that's the joy of lives. Yep. Absolutely, and I think it kind of, I reckon you lot all just wait here because you know something's going to go at some point, and that's kind of the fun part of this, but no, I'm only joking. Video quality is stellar, thank you very much. So we're going to build up to this one, and actually, if you're on YouTube, we've just recently started live streaming in 4K. So if you're on YouTube, check that you're on 4K. If you can handle, if your internet will handle it, try it, see if you notice any difference. Pull me up full screen. We spotted as well the other day that when you're streaming, I think Facebook as well now lets you go 4K, which I've been telling everyone it's restricted to 720. When I was on a live the other day, Owen, my son, spotted it and he went, he sent me a screenshot. He went, this is telling me I can stream this in 4K. So anyone that's on Facebook, come and join us. People are coming in now. This is cool. Thank you. If you're just arriving, please, you haven't missed anything. Just me waffling for a bit because we didn't have an intro. This is going to be a good live today. Just really practical. I've got loads of kit around me. We're going to walk through it stage by stage and backtrack, answer any of your questions. I haven't got a script really, other than an order to run through and show you these and just talk about equipment. So a nice chilled live, hopefully. And Rob Charles, cool. So it looks great in 4K. Awesome. James says that's cool. Yeah, well, James, I'm trying it. We're pushing it. Always interested in seeing how that goes. Paul says I'm on YouTube at 1400. Yep. Hello as well. Missed that one up here. The other thing, just coming on here. So if you missed the start, I'm using Rachel's MacBook Air, sharing it to this screen. So I've extended the screen, but me trying to do my normal thing of pulling on the comments on the window, it doesn't like that it's on this second monitor, and I can't quite drag it all the way over, weirdly, to get onto the screen. So no problem. Right, okay, Philip's watching it in 4K. Interesting, cool. So let's jump into this anyway. So I'm at the minute, this is me, this is what I show up with normally. This is how we have the thing lit over here. We're going to backtrack and really start out at entry level with this and work our way up. So we're going to start with the built-in webcam that is built in. So this is a brand new, bought this in January. It's a new MacBook Air M1. So, you know, it's not like an old camera or stuff that I'm going to show you now, but this really is where you start. And I really want to encourage you, whether this is streaming or you're doing your Zoom calls or whatever it be, it really is worth upgrading your camera, as you'll see right now. So if I jump across this, and honestly, I have just wiped this to make sure. This is one of my tips would be, let me slightly put that behind me there. One of my tips would be to make sure you clear this, because certainly I'm looking on here and it's got fingerprints all over it. It's got smudges and things on there. We don't want that. And so, but this is, as I say, a 2021 MacBook Air M1, beautiful. Still, why do Apple put these really basic cameras in? I'm interested. I don't know if anyone's got one of the new iMacs, but has that improved? Have they changed it? And the thing with this really, hey Ian, how you doing? Yeah. I absolutely, Ian, and this is why I upgraded. I don't know if you've looked at the new Mac Mini. It's a cracking bit of kit, and for $699, it was a steal not to get, really. I'm definitely loving all this. So anyway, this is coming through with, you know, I can't do anything with this. I'm thinking it's got to be settings that I can get into inside my Mac to improve the camera. Can't get into anything. If you know anything, please tell me. But this is where a lot of you are at. And actually, even now, I've at least turned this up a little bit, and I've got it on a stand. You know, one of the tips that I would say to you is to get it off the desk, because we don't want this super high angle. At least try and get the camera up. If this is what you're working on, lifting the camera, I would play with it, but everything's plugged in, and I'm scared that if I move it slightly, I'm going to lose a connection and it will be a famous disaster. So shall we move on from this one? This is, you know, we're in exactly the same place as I am here. Same lighting. Yes, it is a slightly different angle there because I can't get any more in front of me, but not cool, right? So let's move on from that. So the next camera that I've got here, and just to say, certainly on this one, fully automatic. Now, if I will just move this slightly around here, because someone's going to tell me it's because I got that light in the background, and it really isn't. So, you know, this is me here, still got this. One of the things you'll find with these automatic exposure is that, sorry, what's James saying there? Okay, so eyeglasses can tweak it. Yes, you're right, actually, James. I could be playing with this inside of Ecamm. We could kind of adjust, well, maybe that gamma setting there would help a little bit. Pull that brightness down a bit. This was one of the things I was going to say with this, really, is this is an automatic, it's working out the exposure of this scene. And so for me, having a almost black background behind me, the camera's going, oh, we need to turn the light up on that. And sometimes it can really mean that you end up overexposed while it's trying to sort that background. If I'd got a white background behind me, then it's going, oh, this is too bright. We need to take this down to a kind of average exposure, and you'll end up silhouette. And people are saying constantly, oh, I keep turning my lights up and I've got them on full power, but I'm not bright enough. And it's because you've got a white wall behind you and your camera on auto is going, nope, I've got to keep turning it down. It doesn't matter how much light you put on, it's going to keep turning it down because it can see that bright white background behind you. So shall we move on from this one, because I'm not enjoying it. Now, this, out of interest, is, and I can show you this. Let me just, actually what I'm going to do is jump across a second. So this is my little Sony ZV-1. Just to show you what we've got here. So my phone is on this one, just with my gym membership card shoved in the back. That's my 6400 we're going to come on to at the end. This is the laptop, and this right here is this tiny little, I did a review on this not so long back. Let me zoom in a bit. This little thing here is one of these PTZ cameras that will track and follow me around, and that's what this is coming through right now. In theory, what did I pay for this? This was well, I didn't pay, I got it to review. Should be about 150. So this should be a good quality USB webcam. Now it does do some cool things, and it will track me around like this. And I can kind of do gestures to it to make it zoom in and out. But ultimately, I find the quality pretty poor. And this would be quite typical of a USB webcam, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm just seeing some of the comments back and forth. Thank you, Ian. Andrew, how am I coping with the limited USB ports? I've got a hub plugged in that's got 4-5 USB ports in it. So I've got the power plugged into it, and I'll show you that at the end if you want. If you want to have a look a bit more around the equipment when we've gone through this. So, I mean, nice and sharp, isn't it? You can't kind of knock that it's doing a nice sharp image, but again, very limited options of what I can actually do and change in the software of this. Again, yes, we can kind of come into Ecamm and I can try and do something in here. But I'm not liking this. And this is, again, we have a lot of people come through our Ecamm Academy who are struggling trying to balance this. And certainly if you put a green screen up and then you're going, color's all gone. You've then got to go and find, sometimes there's software that comes with your webcam that you can then go off and actually put some settings in. With a lot of them, I mean, we just plug these in and assume it's plug and play. But with a lot of them, you are limited as to, let me come slightly to the side so that I'm getting rid of that. Come on, follow me around. You are limited to these default auto settings again. So again, I'm pointing out that I'm in exactly the same space here. Nothing has changed. And notice as well, we've got no depth of field to this. When you were looking through on this one, which is going to be looking through this now, notice how blurred that background is. It all looks, you know, you're focusing on me. That's all blurred out. We don't get that on this one. It's just attached to the top of my monitor. That's why I'm moving it around. Yeah. So again, step up. What do you think? This is webcam. Do we think there is a place for this, and or do we think we should be upgrading again? So this, as I say, is about 150 as a USB. Like I said at the start, if you were here, I've got no agenda in this. I'm just trying to be really open and show you. So Ian's saying this looks about the same as the Logitech C920. Yeah, well, that was my thinking, Ian. So I'm pleased to hear you thinking the same. Hey there, Tuan. Nice to have you on. Must be the Sony, says Victor. What's that? Sorry, the power hub. I'm not on a power hub. What I am with this hub, I do plug the power through it. So the power to my MacBook Air is plugged into the hub and then comes through. I've got a monitor plugged in that's got USB ports in this, and I've got cam links plugged in all over the place. It's going fine. There's a place for it, depends what your needs are. Yes, Victor, I guess so. And if you particularly needed this camera to follow you, again, I know there are some of the Logitech ones, I believe, that will do this and track you as well. But yeah, we're talking about kind of quality here. And James says, let's go higher. Right, well, hopefully this is still attached. Next one I wanted to try was my iPhone. And here we are. So I think that looks a lot better, actually. Temperature's a little bit warm. I'm just going to pull that saturate in Ecamm. I can adjust this slightly. Again, I'm on my phone and I'm using this Shoot app on here that basically gives me a blank screen. Trying to think where I've got the link to it. I'll try and put the link in here. I'll put it in the description afterwards anyway. It's a very affordable little app that you can get for your phone, and it basically just takes up, if you were just to use your phone, you're going to get the overlays and things that are in there. And the idea with this Shoot app is that it just cleans that out and gives you a blank screen. Now you can use Filmic Pro. Someone's going to mention it because I'm just about to say that again on your phone you are restricted to auto settings. It's doing the same thing on here, and as I move this around, depending on whether I've got a white background, this thing will change around a bit, and you can see my skin color is changing. It's all over the place. I can't adjust this with... Oh. We might change because my phone just... 2 seconds. Oh. Oh dear. Right. And it's back. Come on. Right. Rachel's having kittens in the house, wondering whatever I'm going to destroy next. There's always something going on in here. It was overcome by excitement. Right. What was I saying? Phones. You know, this is a great option. It's a camera that we've all got. I'm literally with it using Ecamm. I'm just plugging this in straight over a USB cable. All I need to do is put a USB cable in, and in this case, as I say, I'm using this Shoot app, and this can work really well. I think so far, you know, this is way better than what we had on this FaceTime cam. It's better than, that's had a little collapse as well. It's better than what we've had on that one. And so far, the phone is winning and doing the best job. But as I started saying before it just collapsed on the floor, I'm still restricted to its automatic settings. I can't really get into this and change it around. And it's still... Oh dear, this was supposed to be in Do Not Disturb. I'm getting Food Hub notifications. Right, we need to get off the phone. You get the point. This is something else with using a phone that you need to be aware of to make sure you turn notifications off. I bet someone's dying to message me right now and see if your message pops up. Right, so that's your phone. Again, a great option, but let's keep moving on. So now I've got on here, this is, as you saw a moment ago, this is my Sony ZV-1. I love this camera. I think it's doing a great job. I'm not giving it, it's, if I bring it round slightly, let's put it, say, here, it is doing a better job. And actually, I would have that a little bit closer in, so probably like that. And I think actually this is a really nice option for us to use. If I flick it back to this one a second, you can see it. So here it is, my little Sony ZV-1, tiny little camera, compact camera. It's got a little bracket on that one. But so I've got that sat on here at the side of me. And the reason I'm using this one as well is what I wanted to show you actually is the difference that we can do here. In fact, I haven't done this yet, have I? What we should have been doing is going right back here to our FaceTime camera, and then we could have brought in next to it the OBS, and then we could have brought in the what I want to show you, this is the ZV-1 over USB. So I need to, this is, let's just have a look. I'm just going to bring that up a bit. That's been knocked. Bear with me. I want to adjust. There we go, back a little bit. No, it's an auto ISO. So, yeah. What I wanted to show you is the difference. So bringing this in over USB, this is a great little camera. Same can happen with lots of cameras now, is that Ecamm will accept a USB feed for these mirrorless cameras. So it doesn't do it on my USB. I think on my Panasonic cameras, I think that they're one of the few brands that don't do this, but Canon, Sony, some of the Nikons, you can plug a USB cable in and come straight into here by using that. Now I'm just going to push that light up a little bit because it just feels like it's... Can I just change something a second? Forgive me. It's not going to let me adjust it. There it is. Right. I've got this set to an auto ISO and I just want to be bringing that back so I'm in control of it. There we go. That's better. So this is great that we can plug this in over USB. Does this mean that we now don't need to use HDMI cables? Well, what I wanted you to see, and I'll come back to your questions. Give me some questions. I'm going to come back to them in just a minute. What I just want to show you is this right here is the difference between, on the left, you're looking at the USB. It's exactly the same camera. You're looking at the USB feed compared to the HDMI feed. And it might not be massively noticeable on the live. My stubble always seems to be a good example of my glasses. Can you notice that on that right hand side it's a little bit different? And actually interesting, there's a slight delay. You notice that slight delay in the USB? I thought it would have been the other way around actually, but me talking, yeah, interesting. I'll zoom out a little bit. It'll be having, it's like watching a horror film. So yeah, I'm bringing this one in to show you. This is what's this, $699 pretty much, I think, this camera. I'm seeing this now as really a replacement to what the G7 was. We're struggling to get hold of the G7, the Panasonic G7, and I'm really liking we use this all the time as a second camera. And it's really good for that. It's lovely the fact that I can, like this, be plugged in. I can bring this around, move it. You know, that the detail, the sharpness on that, it is fantastic. If I could hold it steady. Yeah, you can't fault this. That's just adjusting the exposure as I'm moving it. So we're really happy with this as a camera, and interested to bring this one in and let you have a look and see how this is USB versus the HDMI. Now I can see a few questions on here. Let's just have a quick talk about this. Sorry, I've been racing ahead and not seen these. So OBSBOT, auto tracking, phone mount is also an option. A phone mount, you can take it off and put it on a do you mean on a tripod? There's a screw in thread for it, yes. So Kay's saying yeah, absolutely, Kay. So there's no capture card involved in that left picture there right now. Let's just click back to that one. So no capture card. And I think what James is saying in here, do you know if the ZV-1 carries sound over HDMI with a cam link? Yes, it does. Better still, it carries sound over USB. So I've been really surprised at that, James. So you don't need a capture card. So I could actually, so I've got I use this Rode Video Mic Pro Plus that's kind of laid on its side, if you're wondering why it looks funny. My setup nowadays is that we've got all of this on one stand there. If we can do this without dropping anything else. So I use one of these C-stands, a Niwa C-stand, and I've got a camera that comes out on an arm here. I've got this light dome that sits at the top, and my microphone also comes out on an arm. So me sitting here is looking that way at the camera, and the mic's just super close, lights up there. That's kind of how we got this set up at the moment. So yeah, I could have that microphone plugged into this ZV-1 and the audio would come across one USB cable. So the USB cable, if it's plugged into the correct lightning port, will charge it, it will send the feed across, and it will send audio across. Fantastic. Again, this is what I'm saying, this is so good within this little camera. It also has it's got image stabilizing, it's got an ND filter built into it, loads of different things that we can use to take it on the road and have a go with it and just use it for, I mean, it's designed for vlogging, a great little travel. If you wanted to do this, if Ian and others, for instance, are off touring and, you know, showing up at conferences and things like that, if you wanted in your hotel room to be able to have a nice portable little camera like this, it does everything. So yeah. The frame rate looks a little less than stellar, probably better with Camlink. Yeah, I can see a difference. Certainly at my end, looking at here, maybe in the replay, I can see a difference between what is coming through as USB and then the new one that I just added on the right is coming in HDMI. Color looks better. Warmer, you know, it's not a setting in the camera because it's the same one coming across, but it just seems to send yeah, a nicer image across. Personally, I would still invest in a HDMI cable and send it across that way, but it's nice to know that just with that USB I can get pretty much the same result from it. So Kay says, very noticeable. Need to test that USB with your Canon M50 on the Mac Mini versus HDMI. Yeah, Victor, absolutely. Great question, actually. Let me just flick back to this one. Right, I'm back over here at the minute on my 6400, and we will come to this in just a minute. Victor's just saying, there's my M50, Canon M50. This is one of the scenarios, actually, I don't know whether you've found this, Victor, plug in your Canon M50 over HDMI and you can't get rid of the auto tracking on the front of it. I think Ian's got the M50 as well. You can't get rid of that auto tracking and it will cut out after 30 minutes. Not talking about record times, but the power will shut off after 30 minutes. The trick to get around it, well, if you plug in this way and use USB, you do notice a bit of a drop in quality. I remember doing a check on it. I don't think we did a live or a review, but we've certainly done it internally. But it does mean that the autofocus can stay, and it also means that it won't cut out after 30 minutes. So you can actually, which is why we'd originally done this and had a USB and a HDMI in, and we were able to plug those in and compare them. I don't think I've got enough power in this one to change it over and bring it in now. I think I've got enough cameras plugged in, but yeah. So Tanner says, wow to the HDMI. HDMI is faster, more detail. Yeah. USB isn't bad if you can. Yeah, absolutely, Kay. I mean, if this is, you'd be better off to go, right, that's another £100 or so, another £10 maybe for a HDMI cable. Put that money into getting something like this camera first of all, and then yeah, if in 6 months time or so you want to get that HDMI cable, you can. So Brian says, what camera am I showing now? This is the Sony a6400, if that's relevant now. When I bring a comment from your viewers, it's a long comment that overlays exceed my screen. How do I lock the size? Okay, what you can do, and if I were to come very quickly. So if I do live demo mode, so let me bring in your question. You can see my screen here now. What I can do on here, see on the right hand side, I can grab that and I can adjust it. What it will, I mean, I can hit the corner and I can adjust the size of it anyway, but that I think is probably what you're referring to, is the length of it. So I can adjust that and set it for all of them. Just be aware that if there is a long comment, it'll just get really high then. Now, you also might find actually that one of the preferences and settings in there, and I'm not sure if that's, yeah, you're saying it comes over your overlays. Just a quick note, this is not to do with cameras, but I will just quickly answer it because somebody else will say the same thing. So that was what I turned on earlier down here, automatically hiding the comment overlays. You also can, I thought it was on that window. Sorry, where is it? Show, no, I'm telling you, it's the picture in picture I'm thinking, not the comments. The picture in picture coming over the top. It's not comments. I was thinking that was what it was, comments coming over the overlays. You just need to put them in order so your comments come over the top. Right, so HubSpot phone mount is on Kickstarter. Oh, okay. Would you buy the ZV-1 over the G7 today? Yes, James. I think I would. There's a few reasons. So this is, those of you that know me know that we've been on Panasonics for the last 4 years. I've got a shelf full of, we've got 4 Panasonic cameras. And this is what my Pro Video Academy has all been about, using the Panasonic G7 camera. The thing that I've never been able to do with the Panasonic camera, and it hasn't been a big deal to me, is it doesn't have a good continuous autofocus. So we in the group have been using these little pointers, and I've been reaching across and we touch it, we focus it, and then it locks and stays in place. And to some extent I like that, because you know, me doing this now, I go out of the scene, the poor camera's doesn't know what I'm doing or trying to do. So actually having this focus locked isn't a bad thing. What I do find is when I'm trying to do something like this and demonstrate to you, I can't do that. And I've found myself going, hang on a minute, right, let me focus and hold this up and then come back over. That's the only thing wrong with the G7, and the fact that it's just getting harder and harder to find. I can only think it's going out of stock. I know a lot of cameras have been struggling at the minute. There's a lot of manufacturers, you can't get hold of cameras. The Sony 6100 is as bad, to be honest, at the minute. But yeah, that really is why I'm trying to future-proof myself and the Academy and switching across to these newer cameras. Yeah, believing that they're going to be here and around for longer. So James, yes, I am, but it's not because I think this is better quality or giving a better image than the G7. Honestly, I still think that G7 is the best image that we've had coming through with that 20mm lens. But it's been these kind of frustrations, and sadly I've seen people, James, you know, I've seen people inside the Pro Video Academy who have come on all excited doing their video, and it's just slightly out of focus, and I think they've either sat back and focused it and then sat forward, or they've focused it here and sat back and it hasn't tracked. And that's been a real frustration to people. So this won't go out of focus. This is one of the best cameras at tracking you. Yeah. And if anything, can I just show you, Owen and I were quite surprised at this the other day. So let me just bring side by side. Can I take this one back a bit? So trying to get these, so you can see a difference in the 6400 and the ZV-1. But what I want to show you, one of the things that I find with the 6400, and I know I can adjust this, is that when I kind of go in and out of focus like this, it does a bit of a jump, and kind of very sharply goes in and out. The ZV-1 doesn't move. It is super smooth. So am I in the way of that? No, I'm not. Right, so if I put my hand up here, just notice the difference. I think the ZV-1 does a better job of autofocus tracking than the 6400. Now it's a newer camera, it's got more tech in it, but yeah. do you agree? This one kind of did a little jump on me, completely flawless, just moving in and out. So in some ways, that's doing better. Am I using an A10 Mini or multiple cam links? This is multiple cam links. So yeah, these two at the minute are both coming in on cam links, and I know I've got an A10 Mini sat in the cupboard there gathering dust. I know some people like these. I understand that it's taking some load off your computer and it's kind of handling it out there externally, but you are restricted because Ecamm will only see the A10 Mini. So now I've got to switch around between them. I can't do this, and I can't play around with it and bring in different cameras. You know, in Ecamm, I could be here on this and I could bring in a camera overlay, and I could just, you know, choose to change the round, and I can adjust this, and I could label this up and different things. Does that make sense? Ecamm only sees the A10 Mini. So yes, I can do picture in picture on the A10 Mini, but I can't do stuff like this. And, you know, I can't pick up that second camera and adjust it and play with it. I can't kind of zoom in and out on different, I need to tick it first. I can't sort of pan and tilt and do this sort of stuff with it as well. So while I think the A10 Mini is a great bit of kit, it's actually a bit of a bottleneck if you're using Ecamm and trying to be flexible and be able to use you know, multiple cameras and things. Certainly, you know, I mean, this is a bit over the top like this, but maybe I'd got one of these cameras, maybe my ZV-1 is up here, and I've got it mounted above me, and I want to be able to bring that in as a view down, and I'm demonstrating how I'm using my Stream Deck or something. You know, I could have all this set on here and be cutting around between the two angles. You can't do that with an A10 Mini. All right. Bernard's loving the setup. Yeah, loving the M50. M50 is a lovely sharp camera. Again, that's why I bought it. A lot of people are using it. I have known of, I think, 2 of my customers who have had this kind of not blow up on them, but get stuck on them. It's overheated when they've been on Zoom calls for too long. Yeah, it's had a few glitches, but actually, yeah, it's a lovely little camera. As a professional photographer, I was all Canon, so I kind of figured that would be a really good alternative, but not quite. The M50. M50 Mark II. Yeah, interested to have a look at that one, actually. Yes, Stephen, using Restream. That's right. The side size setting. Yeah, absolutely, Kate. It's all in there to play around with. There are so many settings in this, actually, that you can do. I can kind of flip the camera around as well. I can adjust all this saturation and things. I can actually go black and white on it if I want. The only thing is I need to actually do it on a camera that's visible. We could kind of turn one and have a nice black, you know, that looks quite dramatic and smart over there. I could sort of turn all this down and create quite a moody look over there, really. I don't know. You could play with it. I could mirror that around really easily. Could even flip it that way up. Why would that be useful? I would think probably if you were trying to have that camera pointing down from above or something and you wanted it flipped the other way. Lots of settings in here, even putting LUTs into it, which is a whole nother topic. what was that device? Can I use it with an M50? What device was I just showing you? Sorry. What was the device I held up for the M50? Did I hold something up? So you're using the older cam links and not the HD 60S Plus. That's right. Yeah, no problem at all with the cam links. In fact, they've been on offer. Frustratingly, they were one of these that was on Amazon Prime Day or the Amazon Prime sale recently. I was telling everyone to get it. When the sale was over, it stayed at the same price. So I just bought another one the other day. I think we've got 4 of them now for about £89. I don't know if that's worldwide. Certainly in the UK, they are still on an offer, and I think a fantastic bargain just to plug these things in. Yeah, absolutely, Victor, 100%. As I said, you know, it is a great product. It's just I find it's a bottleneck if you're using Ecamm. There's a lot of people not using Ecamm, so if you were going straight out to Facebook or Zoom or something else, yeah, amazing. Are all the cam links going into a USB hub? Right, shall I show you a quick look around? And you might be surprised at quite the setup here. Right, so I can stay on there actually. So this down here is the little hub that I've got. It's handling my Ethernet. This USB is going out to my phone. There's a cam link that is my main camera. So as you know, well, on the Air, you only get 2 ports. So the power is coming into the hub as well, so that I don't need to use a port for that. And then this port is going out and feeding to my monitor. So I've got a Dell Ultra Sharp monitor. Love this thing. And this has got 2 USB ports underneath and 2 on the side. So this cam link feed now is coming in through the monitor, which is going into the Mac Air. All right, does that make sense? So this monitor serves as a hub as well. If you wanted to have a look at this, it would be a 27-inch Dell Ultra Sharp monitor, but it comes, as I say, with these hubs. So this works like a hub. I've got 4 USBs in this. I've actually got a spare USB sat in the side of that, and that is working fine. All right, so nothing overly fancy. So my microphone plugs into that camera, and so I don't have to have another input for a microphone. But so that HDMI feed down here is bringing in the audio and the video from the A6400. Okay, who have I confused? I'm saying here it's nice and straightforward. I realise it's and actually, out of interest, I've got this little stand on here which is designed to sit a laptop on. But this is where, because I've got this on this little stand, it's meant that I could just rest it on there. I wouldn't normally have all this out for a live. I really do try and keep things simpler. This is just that for the sake of today, I wanted to just try all these things out and let you see options that are available to you. Andrew, the stick, what I'm holding here for the Sony, no, this is designed for the Sony, and it allows me to zoom in and out, and I can record, or there is a function button down here that we can preset. It's hopefully still on offer, because otherwise it's over £100 for it, and to be honest, you could just grab a Gorilla Pod and it would work just as well. What USB hub? Desert West. Nothing fancy. It was probably about £20, but I wanted one that had got Ethernet, HDMI out, and multiple USB hubs. I'll try and find it if you're interested, but nothing expensive. I know there's a lot of powered hubs and you can spend hundreds on these things. This is working. Yes, it does have it doesn't. Do you realize what this is doing? So it has a product showcase function. What this is doing, see on the 6400 or the 6000 range, you can choose face priority or you can turn it off. So when I'm on, oh, I've got rid of that. When I'm just on here, I can set this so that it will lock onto my face, and unless I put my hand in front of it, it won't automatically focus to the front here. So what they've done in the ZV-1 is to call this, is basically turning on and off face priority. Because if I turn off face priority, which I think I've got on a function button there, but I don't want to mess it up, then it would let me hold a product to the side of me and it would track to whatever's nearest to the camera. And that's basically what they've called product showcase in the ZV-1. It's doing exactly the same thing. It just means, is the priority your face, or is it on holding something up in front of you? Hey Riley, yes. Monitor acting as a hub. Yeah, it's super bonus. I hadn't expected it when I first got it, but Victor's got 3 cheap monitors on your PC, but I'm trying to do a Mac better. Okay, cool. Looking for under $100 camera to film for YouTube. Yeah, really not sure as to what option under 100. I wouldn't know what to recommend really for that, I'm afraid. I don't know if anybody else has got ideas or thoughts on that. You asked what you were using to do the autofocus. Oh, were you meaning this pointer? Oh, yeah, very simple little pointer. I'll stick a link in the description. It's on Amazon, but you need to get one that's got this proper mesh end, not the felt one. Yeah, sorry, totally misunderstood. Still haven't worked with Ecamm. Come on. Well, Victor, nice little segue into this. We've actually got our Ecamm Academy starting on Monday. So the doors are open right now for our Ecamm Academy. If I can just very quickly show you over here, that is the Ecamm Academy. And what we do is we walk you through really everything you need to know about Ecamm over here. We completely unbox it. We take you through, there's chapters, there's videos on every kind of overlay. So let me backtrack a second and just show you Ecamm Live Academy starts on Monday. It's $129 and it runs for 2 weeks as a live boot camp in effect. We run it 4 times a year. Those videos that I just showed you get dripped out to you across the first 5 days. A lot of the guys that are on here have already been through this, and a lot are coming back through again as alumni. So all of this stuff here, finding your way around, overlays, countdown overlays, animated overlays, using scenes, massive. What we're doing here and cutting between different things is all done through scenes. Then level 2 gets dripped out on day 2. And so next Tuesday we go through this and you will be actually going live. You'll be streaming out to Facebook and YouTube and other platforms, or I'm going to show you how to and encourage you to. Wednesday we get into interviewing, and you'll find that within the group everyone starts interviewing each other. Really, really great, safe place for you to practice and have a go at this. Thursday, we get on to using phones, doing presentations, all these kind of things. Green screen as well, that comes in on Wednesday. Right up to Friday being more advanced. That's using a virtual camera, Stream Deck, things like this, Restream, loop back. And then, as you see at the end there, bonuses, writing on screen, and some stuff for fitness instructors specifically as well. So it's an amazing academy. We've got a ton of feedback on it. If you're interested in coming and joining us, you can head over to that page over there, ecammliveacademy.com. You can watch some testimonials on there. You can see the kind of feedback that people are saying about it. Can't thank you enough for what I've learned in Ecamm Academy. Taken so many courses in my lifetime. This was one of my favorites. I love that. So yeah, that's us over there. That's the Ecamm Live Academy. If you're liking this and you're thinking, hey, how does he do that? You know, how can I kind of go to that next level with it? Then that could be just the place for you to come and join us over there. Right, I'm going to come back. Any last questions? We're getting near the top of the hour. Thank you. Rachel's just popped in there. Actually, that's the link to it. ecammliveacademy.com. You can click on that link if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook. Oh, bless her. Rach is a star. She's put the link in Facebook as well. So James is saying you can get a Logitech for under 100. Thank you, James. Well done. Yes, good idea, James. Absolutely. This is coming back to trying to get a camera for under 100. Could you use your phone and just get going with that? This was my phone doing actually a really good job. Certainly if you were filming anything outdoors, this will do really well. And yes, this is the rear camera. Yeah, maybe this is the answer to that. Yes, Andrew, I caught up on all that, sorry. Looking into gaming computer, notebook or desktop. Stephen, what are you talking about, a Mac or a PC? This only works, Ecamm only works on a Mac, so I would really encourage you to get a Mac for this. Was that another notification I just had pop up then? Can do all this with your M200 Canon. Are you asking, can I do all this? I really don't know the M200, I'm afraid. Again, I don't know if anybody else is familiar with it. This is the challenge, isn't it? There are so many cameras on the market, and you know, as long as you're getting one, and please, I recommend that you ask away in the Ecamm Live community group, because there's about 8,000 people in there now. Somebody's likely to have the camera that you're thinking of and will be able to tell you whether it works or not. But you're looking for a clean HDMI output. Ecamm again on their page, if you wanted to look at compatible cameras, there's a growing list of cameras that will work with USB, so you don't need HDMI. What you will find, and this was another of the things with this M50, for example, is it doesn't send audio over the HDMI output. It was one of the reasons why I first came away from Canon onto Panasonic, because at the time the Panasonic was about the only one in its price point that would send audio over HDMI, and for me that's a big deal. I want to be able to send my mic into my camera, bring it all in, really eliminating any chance of this being out of sync, and also less inputs to come through. So yeah, do check out things like that. Don't assume that any camera will send audio across. If that's, it might not. I think I'm in the minority for doing that. A lot of people would go through a mixer and have it audio sorted that way. But yeah, a few things just to be careful of. But I would encourage you, by all means, ask me. I don't know all the cameras. Ask in that community group and just check, does this work with Ecamm? Are people using it before you go spending money out? Because I've sadly seen people doing this, spending a lot of money and camcorders, things like that, and going, so I could have got this cheaper using one of these mirrorless cameras. Kelsey, awesome. Yes, we'll see you indeed over there on Monday. What if I can join lives at Ecamm Live? What if you can join the lives? Not quite sure what you're saying there, Whiskey. If you attend Ecamm before and want to attend again, does it cost the same? I think is what you're saying. No, Paul, we've emailed out to everybody, to all of our alumni. Get in touch with me or Rach if you want to. Alumni come back through half price. So it's $129 to come through first time. And then what I didn't mention actually is that all of those videos that you just saw over there, all those tutorials, the training of the Academy is yours for life. So Paul, you've got access to that, and all the new videos and everything that we've made, you've got access to. So if you want to come through and enjoy the live part of it again and coming through the community, push yourself, then we charge you half price, $65 to come through as an alumni. But we do have limited spaces on alumni. Yeah, I would jump on that while you can. Lowest price for a camera, 1800. I'm not saying they're all rubbish. I'm just, it's more that I haven't got a lot of experience, to be honest, at that price point. Personally, there are so many Panasonic G7s which are out there secondhand. You could have a look on eBay and other places. You can get, I would personally choose a G7 over an M50. One of the other things that I didn't get onto, and I'm conscious of time, and thank you for sticking with me, most of you, is power options, actually. We've talked about HDMI, we've talked about 4K. Some of these will do 4K. We are now streaming in 4K and are starting to use this as our norm. The last couple of YouTube videos that we've posted, we put weekly YouTube videos up. The last 2 or 3 have been in 4K. We really like the difference, and YouTube is rewarding us for 4K videos. I've known that for a while, but haven't actually pushed ourselves. Do check these things. And also, again, the Sony range, and I don't know about other ranges, but the Sony range will let me power over USB. Couldn't do that with the Panasonic, so we were using a dummy battery, which has worked absolutely fine. But again, it's do you need these extra things? You're paying extra, you know, it's another $20 to get that. Not a lot of money. Or can the USB that's already plugged in, can it also be powering? Now, what I did mention about the power is not all USB ports are the same. And you need to understand this, that like in this monitor, I've got two USB ports in there, and one of them is a power one. Is it a Thunderbolt, are they called? So one of the USB ports will send power out. The other one is just data. So again, you will find that on some hubs, you will have maybe just one USB port that is a powered one, and the others are just data. So again, just double check on that. If you're plugging it in and going, why am I not getting any power out of this? It might be that the actual USB connection is the wrong one, or the cable. Hey Brian, hopped on a little late. Sounds like the ZV-1 is what you're recommending now. Yeah, it is. Well, if you can go to it, then this is absolutely my favorite, this Sony a6400. There is a 6100 that is exactly the same. It's not exactly the same. There's some very minor differences. The 6400 will record over 30 minutes if you're recording in camera. That could be really important for some of you. And it does have some camera effects that you can put in there if you want to be able to grade and flatten these images down, use Cinelite D and things like that. But other than that, the 6100 can save you a few £100, dollars. They're just not in stock at the minute. I've really struggled to find any. So if you could jump up to it, and I guess you're looking at about $700 for the ZV-1, you'd be looking nearer to $1,000 for the certainly the 6400 you could get for that. I'm talking because the ZV-1, you don't have to go and add lenses to it. It's already got this built-in, the zoom on it. It's kind of a for and against with that, but if you like the simplicity, yeah, that's better on the ZV-1. So yes, I'm kind of, Brian, I'm trying to set this now at 2 different levels, and we're literally just re-recording videos inside our Pro Video Academy at the moment. And it is based on this equipment, this 6400, the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, this Godox light with this lantern on it. But then I'm saying there is a budget version of it. You know, if this is becoming too much, then the ZV-1 is the next best thing to it. how are we doing? Right, I'm trying to just come to the bar. I don't want to leave anybody's questions. Please, I'm not in a rush. Just conscious I don't like people drifting off. Do you have to use capture card when you connected your phone with USB? No, the phone is not on a capture card. The phone is coming across on a USB cable. You can get NDI apps that will do this wirelessly. My experience has been that unless you've got a really good Wi-Fi connection, you can get some glitching going on in there. So I would always plug in a USB, but do make sure to turn off Do Not Disturb so you don't get notifications coming up like I was getting just then. On the Sony, was there a special external power that I'm using? No, Paul, so we're just plugged into USB. I do have one of those plug-in dummy batteries for it. We've stopped using it. It's just plugged in over USB now. And it's actually going out into a powered hub, which then goes out and is we charge that up. So it's all running off of a big battery at the minute. Sorry, just answered that. Use your iPhone and 2 Logitech webcams. Brilliant. Phone shouldn't need the capture card. Yep, thank you, Victor, answering that one. Yep, with the NDI app. Good. Yeah. There's a lot you can do in here that you can't do on StreamYard. StreamYard is great and serves a purpose, and for simplicity, you know, you don't have a lot of options and things. You know, I'm sitting here at the minute on Ecamm, for example, and, you know, this is the window I've got. Everything kind of floats. It's all separate. I can move stuff around. I can turn overlays on and off as I want them. There's a lot more power and control in this. You know, camera effects. Look at this. You know, all the settings I've got over here for camera effects. Scenes. I can't do scenes in StreamYard. It's the difference is StreamYard is web-based, and so it's very limited as to what they can offer. It does a really good job. If you just want a tool to go live, play a camera, bring on a guest, have the comments, bring them on screen, that kind of stuff, does really good. But honestly, Ecamm will just take things to a whole nother level. I can hook this up to this Stream Deck, I can run through a presentation, and I can change my scenes around, my cameras, my overlays. I can drop a video in just at a click of a button. Yeah, it will absolutely take this whole thing to another level than what you're doing at the minute. And if you missed me, we are open. The doors are open right now. Next week is our next Ecamm Live Academy. It's a fantastic place to come and learn how to get the best out of this. I will teach you everything there is to know about Ecamm. You've got that resource for life to come back to whenever you want, but more than that, you get this community of maximum 250 people will come and join us in there over the next couple of weeks, just practicing, working through this together. You'll see what other people are doing, the overlays they're creating, the way they're interviewing, and yeah, it's a wonderful little safe place for you to practice stuff to go wrong, like your cameras dropping off and things like I just did earlier. Yeah. Okay, would love it if you wanted to come and join us over there. Make it look so easy. Yeah, and I wouldn't have this normally. You know, this is me kind of pulling in all the bits of kit that I've got just so I can walk through it over here. I'm all about keeping things simple. So as soon as we're done here, all of these extra things will go, and I'll just have my Sony that's in front of me all attached to one stand. Yeah, honestly, it couldn't be easier. One input coming through. I'm all about keeping it as simple as the less that's involved, the less that could go wrong. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You're being encouraged to jump in. So what if you can't join the Academy Lives? Oh, okay. Is that what you were saying? Yes, so you will still have access to all of that. Where am I? Screen share. You will still have access to all of this down here that you can work through at your own pace. And that's yours for life as a resource. What you will miss is the lives, the interaction on the lives. If you can be in the group and available, you can absolutely catch the replays. We've got guys in Australia, for instance, that can't get on the lives each day because it's middle of the night for them. They watch it the next day. They're asking questions in the group or they're commenting back. They're still getting on lives and showing up and doing the work. Yeah, so I would still say absolutely come in and join anyway, even if you can't get on those lives. Yeah, okay, I hear you. I mean, you can go out to, I mean, LinkedIn now is native and part of Ecamm. The only thing it's not doing is multiple platforms at once, is probably what you're meaning. And I believe this is coming. This has been something that's been on the cards for the last 12 months, and I know it's been in development. There's stuff being worked on in the background. I'm hopeful that before the end of the year, multi-streaming will be a part of Ecamm. Now, I don't know that. Unfortunately, don't think that this is me giving away some trade secret. I'm not, but I am hoping that this would be. I know it's the next big thing that they're on about. The preview was added, the interview was added. And yeah, the next big thing will be multi-streaming. So just hold fire there. I'm paying Restream. You can pay a monthly fee to Restream, and I wouldn't pay for an annual one because I honestly think that within a year this will be an Ecamm. I'm hoping it will. But yeah, I hear you. But it's coming. Okay, Victor's M50 Mark II, 30mm. Yeah. Right, okay. Huge fan of Ecamm, well worth the cost. Come on, absolutely. Ecamm had or still has a sale. Yeah, so absolutely. Well spotted, Victor. Good point. We've got a link actually. adriansalisbury.com/Ecamm30. Yeah, we'll give you 30% off a subscription, or it'll give you 30% off a payment. Let me say it like that. So if you buy an annual subscription of Pro, you're going to get 30% off it. I don't know if Rach is able to drop that in. I could on the fly. Look, this is how flexible this is. If I could spell my name right. That's terrible, isn't it? Let me drop that one in. So that link there is adriansalisbury.com/Ecamm30 through July. Thank you for bringing that up. There is a 30% discount on Ecamm for new customers. What I should have said is if you come and join us in the Ecamm Academy, you will get a 25% discount. Anybody, whether you're a new customer or existing customer, you will get a 25% discount off of a Pro annual license. 1 year's annual, yeah, it is annual. 1 year's Pro license is pretty much, the discount is pretty much the price of the Academy. It's about $95 or something. So we're charging $129 to come in, and you will get almost $100 discount when you go up to a Pro license. If you've already on Pro, it'll just add in, and it'll be added in for the next time. Doesn't apply to alumni. Right, anyway, I need to run as well, James. James is saying he's got to run. Yeah. Anyways, Ecamm Academy should do it. It's worth 10 times the price. So yes, 61 or 6400 both can run on USB. Really like Ecamm. Good. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It'll just be the icing on the cake. Take callers with Ecamm instead of interview mode. Yes, you can. You can use the old way of doing Skype, but interview mode is so good. It really is. It's a great experience for your guest. And they've just got to come in on a Chrome browser. They could log in from their phone or from a computer. Doesn't have to be Chrome if it's on a phone. If they're sharing their screen, it wants to be on Chrome. But it's really nice. It's a nice way for you to bring that feed in, and it saves you having another app open like Skype. Thank you, Rach. There she is. There's the discount link if anyone hasn't got that at the minute. You're very welcome. drop that discount. You've got to join if you're on about my one, you need to come through the Ecamm Live Academy. So you've got to be in the Ecamm Academy, which is, where did it go, Rach? I'm scrolling back up through here because I know Rachel's already mentioned it. There it is, ecammliveacademy.com. Right, I'm going to leave you on this. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed that. Any other questions about equipment, drop it into the comments. I'm always happy to help. Yeah, and I'd love to see a load of you over in the Ecamm Academy next week. Promise you will not be disappointed. All right, so thank you so much. It's been great to spend some time with you. And yeah, see you on another live. So many words. What's this? You mean in this one, all you're looking for is adriansalisbury.com Ecamm 30. All right, I'll leave it up there for a bit, if that's what you're referring to. Or I think I dropped it up here anyway, didn't I? There it is, adriansalisbury.com Ecamm 30. Right, cool. I'm going to leave you with it. All the best. Thanks a lot, guys.